What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Unplugged with Alex, and this week I'm going to be starting something new. It's going to be called NFL Tweet Heat, where I throw some NFL tweets up on the screen from this past week, and we're going to go over them, whether they're funny or controversial. It'll just be good to talk about them. So I think NFL Twitter is absolutely tapped, and it needs to be brought to the YouTube space just to go over some of it because it can be absolutely hilarious. But before we jump into it, I just want to say thank you guys so much for getting me to that 100 subscriber goal. It was a big goal of mine to start, so on to the next one. Let's get to 500. So let's just jump into it right now. First tweet we're going to be going over here. A little bit more of a, not a serious note, but just something I'd like to talk about is the Mike Vrabel hiring. So this tweet, Mike Vrabel with Ryan Tannehill, 39-24. Tannehill, probably his best quarterback that he ever coached. Unfortunately, not great. Tannehill was fine, but he's no Drake May. Mike Vrabel with Will Levis, Josh Dobbs, Malik Willis, Marcus Mariota, and Blaine Gabbert. Quite the list there. 15-21 by Mark Daniels here, saying the Patriots should be in good hands with Drake May. I think Vrabel is a leader of men, and a lot of people think that. I pray to God that he gets the job done here in New England, as I am a Patriots fan. And I'm more confident in him than many other hires. I did want Ben Johnson, as probably most fans wanted. But I'm okay with Vrabel. Just got to hire the right coordinators. And again, you just got to hit in the draft. It's like the Patriots are just known to not be drafting well over the past few years. So I can't do another Jalen Polk. I don't think another Patriots fan can either. So I think we'll be okay with Vrabel at the helm. Just need some serious changes, need some hits in the draft. So next tweet here is going to be a funny one. This is at Wrong Opinion Man, quote tweeting Jack Settleman saying, "I don't really understand Denver's game plan. Offense feels like they're calling it for a bad rookie QB." And as you can see the meme on the screen, it's like, I got something to tell you, man. This is funny because Bo Nix, to me, he's not that guy. And I think a lot of people will either disagree with me or say, what are you talking, like, he's just fine, like, he gets the job done. He overexceeded expectations, absolutely. I don't think anybody had him really doing this in his rookie year, especially with the weapons. And I won't put the certified butt cheek stamp on him yet, just because he's played very well. I have to admit it. He proved me wrong. I didn't think he would be playing well at this point. And also the weapons are just atrocious. The guy has Cortland Sutton as his best weapon. And then we're throwing to Devon Vele. We're throwing to Troy Franklin, the Cinnamon Stick Man. And we've got a different running back coming in out of the lineup every play here on Wildcard Weekend. So I have no words for throwing those weapons out on the field. But Bo did a phenomenal job with what he has, and he surprised me. I still am not enjoying the third and longs to screen passes, or just the amount of screen passes in general. I'm ready to pump the brakes. Let's just see him in a couple more years with some more weapons. I'll be more confident in having a take on Bo Nix. This next tweet is going to be from @BB Chargers, saying, "Never expected the Chargers to be legit Super Bowl contenders this year, so losing in the playoffs doesn't hurt as much. What hurts more is the long-term outlook. Do the Chargers have a guy who can win the Super Bowl under center for the first time since 2020? I am not 100% sure." I am 100% sure, maybe 99% sure. I can't lie. I lost maybe a little bit of confidence in Justin Herbert, the if man, but I'm still a big Herbert fan. I'm in on Herbert. I think a lot of people replying to this tweet were in. We had some rage baiters in there saying we might need to start looking for a new QB. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I think he's much better than Bo Nix, but honestly, he's in the Bo Nix situation here. We've got Ladd McConkey, and that's it. There's not a single soul on that team. First year for Harbaugh. I think they get over the hump next year. I think they definitely make it past Wildcard Weekend. But they're a good team. I think they'll draft well. They'll get Herbert a weapon this year. Maybe Colston Loveland, would love to see that reunite with Harbaugh. But I'm still confident in Herbert. So the next tweet is going to be from @OfTheRose. He goes, "Dog, look at Patrick Queen's face. This picture is absolutely hilarious. Derrick Henry tearing up the Steelers this weekend. We saw some creativity with Derrick Henry in the Wildcat to Lamar motion fake handoff. Wild stuff. Unstoppable duo. I mean, I think we underrated that before this year, having them together. A lot of people were in on it. They were like, oh, dog, we got the truck and Derrick Henry with the most elusive quarterback of all time and Lamar Jackson. But I don't think it can be understated how crazy these two are together. If the game plan is going well, they are borderline unstoppable. I think this is Lamar's year. I do. I think they get to the Super Bowl. Give me the Ravens versus the Lions in the Super Bowl. Book it now. Next tweet is from @Jakob Sanderson saying, Packers in a weird spot. They're clearly going to be a playoff contender for a long time. They have a very good coach and quarterback, but I'm not positive their quarterback is good enough to provide a lot of value on his contract, and LaFleur needs to overcome serious game management flaws. I do agree with the LaFleur comment. He's been great in the regular season. He has been ever since he's been with the Packers, but the playoff hump has been tough for him to get over. A lot of people were replying to this tweet saying, are we sure Jordan Love is a very good QB? The stats came out, I'll throw them up on the screen now, of him on non-play action dropbacks. It did not look good. I still think Love is good, but again, we have this short leash with the young quarterbacks. They get in the playoffs a couple times. It's like we expect them to win right away because we pump them up all regular season, when realistically somebody has to lose these football games. And I know that might be a dumb take, but we have one winner at the end of the season. It's not easy to get over the hump for these teams. And again, we have Jordan Love throwing to Romeo Doubs, Jayden Reed, who everybody was high on, but just simply can't be the one-on-one performer that we think he could be. Dontavion Wicks, these are not real weapons. I still think, you give Jordan Love Nico Collins, because CJ Stroud and Love, I think, have been performing on a relatively similar level. I think Love was better this year, but then CJ Stroud is getting through the wild card weekend because Nico took over. And I just don't think you're giving Love any sort of chance with the weapons he has now. They're going to have to find somebody. I'm still in on Love. I think they are in a weird spot, but I give them some more time. I think they get over the hump here eventually. This next tweet is from @UnderdogNFL. This was right before the Broncos game, from Sean Payton, stating that Tyler Batty will be a big part of the plan on Sunday. Tyler Batty did absolutely nothing. I cannot trust Sean Payton for the life of me. It's actually comical that he brings this stuff up. I don't know if it's a tactic or not. If he is drafting a running back next year, I will be hesitant in fantasy football. I will. They were rotating one back per play on a lot of these drives. Some crazy stuff out of Sean Payton, great coach, but in terms of fantasy, absolute nightmare. But they are another team who needs some weapons. A lot of these teams just really don't have the guys to compete, in my opinion. If you don't have a quarterback that can really, really carry you, you're going to need to get some weapons for them to throw to. So this one really made me laugh. I'll put the video up here right now. It says, these ants taking the biscuit. The ant on top is Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. I'm not a Hurts guy. I'm really not. But I will say he is, like Vrabel in the quarterback version, a leader of men. He does that well. But he's just not the guy I want to run a dynamic offense. Inefficient last week. Very inaccurate at times. They could get back to the Super Bowl. But I don't think it'll be on the back of Jalen Hurts. I think it'll be on the back of Saquon Barkley. I think it'll be on the back of the defense. So I would love to see somebody else in Hurts' spot. I don't want to dog Hurts like that. This video just made me chuckle, to be honest. But Hurts is going to have to show me something to prove that, he's still on the ascension in the NFL. The next tweet from @CDonic1. Darnold should have sat out the bowl game. The bag had been secured. Another one that had me cackling. Darnold did not play great again, back-to-back games. And it's funny to see because he played well all year long, and then you get 2 back-to-back games where he really does not perform. How much money is that going to cost this man? $30 million, $20 million a year? I don't know. We'll see. I still think he gets a gig somewhere, regardless of these 2 games. I saw another tweet that was like, Darnold is not as bad as you're saying he is now, but he wasn't as good as you were saying 4 weeks ago. I do agree with that, but I do think, again, he gets a gig somewhere and he'll figure it out. But this tweet was a good one. And finally, we have a tweet from @Pat Thorman, quote tweeting Peter Schrager after saying the Jets will be interviewing Darren Rizzi. And he said, Jets grabbing head coach interviews like they're stoned at the Chinese buffet. I think the Jets have 9 interviews so far, and no second interviews. Very interesting strategy. They have interviewed some interesting people. Also have an open GM job. So I'll be intrigued to see what direction the Jets go in, because talk about dysfunction. The players are upset. Management is not happy. So we'll see with this. I think they need to get some younger blood in there. I do think it was a mistake firing Saleh, but we shall see. There are some candidates that they interviewed that would make me laugh. So that's going to do it for this video. I know a little bit shorter, but I thought it would be cool to get this concept out there, and we'll see how you guys enjoy it. We could do this more often. Very fun to make, and I think entertaining for you guys as you get to see some of the funny stuff that I'm looking through throughout the week, and I'm sure some of you guys are seeing on Twitter as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week.
I stepped inside the building, now it smell like Chanel. I got it draped all on my body like I got it for sale. And I got trackers on your body, so you better come and pay me. Keep the Hublot on my wrist, because this time you can't evade me. I want two-tone with the bliss, so I can blind you when I shine.